All right, guys, so I figured it's about time to do a video of me, well, at least of where I'm working now. I think the last video that I put out, I said that I planned on insulating and sheeting the walls and all that stuff, but I'm not really good at laying things out until I start to use them. So I was afraid if I did all that stuff and then sheeted the walls and then decided I wanted to move some things, like I can already tell you, I plan to change a lot of the stuff that's going on kind of over here. And obviously that's farther away from the panel than, well, as far as you can get, at least, from that panel at this point anyway. So anyway, long story short, I decided to put the lights up, get it wired, get, the tools in here, and I decided to do these post designs for basically everything, just to keep the floor space a little bit more open. I guess I could have done workbenches, but it just, I don't know, I just kind of like this better. I wasn't really sure I was going to, but I do. The only downside, I guess I would say, is when I'm cutting metal and some of the chips and stuff get down in there, I usually just blow the shop out with a blower. But, there's, obviously stuff gets inside of these tubes and stuff. But other than that, it's not really that big of a deal. And it just it just makes it feel a little bigger in here. This is not quite as big as my garage was as far as square footage is concerned. But it is longer and the roof is much higher. So it does make life a little easier as far as, putting things together in here. These are a couple of orders in my cut list. I won't zoom in on it because that's, there's customers' personal information. But for now, I just, I got some fans in the windows. I took that fan out of the garage and cut the mount up and kind of just mounted it to this this piece here. And when I'm cutting and grinding and everything, turn this thing on, it does a pretty good job of ventilating the shop. And then I just bought 2 window fans, got them from Lowe's for like 18 bucks a piece or something. And those are just kind of temporary. I did pre-wire an air conditioner that's going to go up here on the wall, but I just haven't had a chance to make that happen yet. So you guys have already seen the template table, and I'm just going to use this table for the pre-cuts for now. There's a couple of ramps worth of metal cut up here. I got 2 ramps going out on Friday. So, well, one of them's going out Friday. The other one is a 48 with a swing arm, and the guy is actually coming here so that I can install it. So, but this table's on wheels so I can move it. Initially, I did plan on putting it on this wall, kind of on an angle so that it didn't take up very much floor space and all that. But I'm just going to kind of leave it for now and see after I build a few ramps how it works out. Just welding table that was in the garage. These 2 drill presses, these used to be bench mounted. They had the bases, and I just kind of had them screwed to the benches. But again, I ended up making some pillars for these, and I really like being able to walk right up to them and having all the space above them and all that stuff. So I'll probably end up building some kind of a shelf, maybe the length of this wall. Maybe I'll stop it here or something so that I still have some free open space over here. But I'll use that for some of the things that I don't use very often, and just storage and stuff. I did get a couple of these Craftsman boxes. Lowe's had them on sale for $115, if you can believe that. I mean, they are kind of cheap for the most part, but I mean, $115 for boxes with a few drawers in them and stuff. I don't really know how you can beat that. So I got 2 of them, this one here and then that one over there. I should have bought 4, to be honest with you, but I just picked up 2, mainly because I didn't bring the right vehicle, and my daughter had to come up and pick them up for me. I didn't plan on buying them, but I brought my wife's car when I was there, and when I saw them, I had to buy them, so I had to wait for her to come and get them. So I just picked up 2, and you know, I just didn't end up getting 4. But for now, this will work. I'm gonna end up doing something different with that, and I don't want to put any more toolboxes in here until I build the 2 benches that I need. One of them is gonna go here. So it'll go from that wall basically to this support, and it'll be at a 36-inch height. And then I'm gonna kind of do the same basic idea here. I don't have a charging station yet, so I'll build a bench that goes kind of to here, and then this is gonna get moved, the bender this way, and the vise is gonna get moved this way a little bit. So it'll free up some space over here. So there'll be the refrigerator up here, trash can underneath, and then a short little charging station for the drills and the glue gun and stuff. And then this will just be kind of a miscellaneous workspace. I'm going to put part of this bench as expanded metal as far as the top is concerned, so I can use this plasma cutter to notch those adjustment sections for the ramp. So there'll be some kind of a plasma table, plasma cutter table here, and then, you know, workbench. And then when my my CNC plasma table finally comes, I'll have to reevaluate where things are going. But for now, it's actually working out pretty good. This is kind of the heart of the shop. It's the miter station, and this is I never really talked about the tools that I use, but this is a Rage 3. I think it's a Rage 3. It's a 10-inch compound miter saw by Evolution. And it just, you know, you can cut pretty much any angle, and it's great. The only thing with this saw is that if you end up having to cut any kind of like solid bar, like this 1/2 inch here, or this 3/4, or even the pipe, any kind of real thick pipe, it just kind of goes through the blade real fast. And these blades are about $60 a piece. So if I got to buy one on every ramp, that's, you know, that's quite a bit of money. And if you've watched my other videos, you know I did have a bandsaw that I was using for those kinds of cuts. I just recently picked this up. I got it from Northern Tool. It's a clutch bench top bandsaw. Now, there's a few things about this thing that's kind of weird to me. One, I mean, first of all, I like it. It works great. It's strong enough, and it does exactly what it needed to do, and it takes up no more space than the miter saw. In fact, it takes up less space. And it can double as a backup for this saw, whereas the other bandsaw I was using could not do that because I couldn't cut miters without having to maneuver the work pieces that I was working on. So I kind of just installed these saws in line with a common fence so that when I'm cutting a long piece, you know, it kind of lays basically here, goes right through this vise, and then here, and goes right to this, or, you know, and continues on if it needs to. And then I made this this measurement tool, which basically allows me to set the stop at whatever measurement I need to cut at, you know, and then I can make repeated cuts without too much of an issue. So that thing works pretty good. I should have done that earlier, but you know, when I set it up here, I decided to do it. But anyway, what I will say is this saw, the box says it has a 1 1/3 horsepower motor, but there's a nameplate on here somewhere that says it has 3/4 of a horsepower. So I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't know what was happening with the box, or, you know, maybe I don't know if I got a defective one or whatever. It works fine. It works good for what I need it for, so I'm going to keep it. And like I said, it does allow you to cut miters, so you can loosen this up, and there's a miter gauge here, so that in the event that something happens with this saw, either my blade goes bad. I typically keep 2 blades. I keep this multi-purpose blade as a backup, and then I keep a full steel cutting blade. I never have less than 2, including or plus the one that's on the saw. So usually I can use this without any issues, and I don't have to worry about, you know, running out of blade before Amazon can bring me a new one. But in the event that something happens, I you know, now I can kind of do what I need to do with this saw too. So, and it does very well. And as far as the horizontal, or well, I should say vertical, you know, there's people who have made some kind of stand where, you know, you clamp the vise on it and it's, you know, makes a table so that you can kind of cut. But I did take the handle off of my portable bandsaw that I got. I got this from Harbor Freight, and I bought it with the intention of putting it on the wall. I never ended up doing it though, because I didn't have a lot of wall space left in the garage. But in here, I removed the handle, I made myself a bracket, and I wired this as a half switch. So this is hot all the time. This one works on the switch. So now when I turn this on, the bandsaw turns on. I did omit the speed control because I don't really need it, but I could wire it back in if I needed it. So far it's been fine though. So, and this is just a bench grinder. It's a 3/4 horse. It's not very strong. It struggles to get this multi-tool belt sander going, but I just use this to deburr the steel. I'm not really removing an enormous amount of metal at one time, so for now it works fine. But I am going to get a 1 or a 1 1/4 horse bench grinder, and then I'll put a wire wheel on this side, and I will install the disc sander that goes here, and I'll build a table so that that's more of a complete setup. But for right now it works fine. It works fine. So that's that. I'm always all over the place, so I don't even know what I covered and what I didn't. My angle grinders, I have 2 corded angle grinders that I run on these 30-foot reels. They were, you know, they had like 3 outlet plugs on the end or something, and what I've decided to do is wire them in directly to the grinders, and this just allows me to, you know, pull this to where I need it, and then, you know, yank on that cord, and it winds it up itself. And that's for when I'm doing things where I need way more than battery power. You know, if these were Milwaukee battery power grinders, I might never need a corded grinder, but these are Harbor Freight, like I think they're Bauer or something. And there's people that talk shit about these. This is the thing that I feel about it. These are, I mean, it's $80 for a grinder and a battery, an extended battery. And I just, you know, I had some Ryobi battery powered grinders, and these outlast them. I don't know what the deal was with the Ryobi ones. The metal got inside and just kind of gave them shit, and they were no good after that. These have been plunking right along. They're nowhere near strong. The batteries last nowhere near as long as they do on the Ryobi. But, you know, I mean, these, like I said, these batteries are, I think, 20 bucks or something, or 30 bucks. And, you know, 3 of them is more than enough. I can do what I need to do with them. And again, like I said, I always have the corded ones if I need them. So those work. Again, I don't have a charging station, but I do plan on putting one here. When I can kind of get around to it. This is my steel rack, plasma cutter. Again, I think I probably covered what I plan on doing here. I don't know. Anyway, this is where I'm working now, and I like it. I like having windows that I can open, and, you know, the fans going and stuff. And you know, I can either have this door open or not, and you know, it doesn't seem to affect too much about the airflow, and, you know, keeps bugs out and stuff. So anyway, I'll keep you guys posted as I progress, as far as, you know, building more stuff in here, and you know, I don't know, maybe, like I said, you know, I'm gonna do some kind of a trolley that goes down the middle here. I just don't know how I'm going to work it out yet, but it'll have that hoist, that crane hoist there, and I might even put the welder up there so that I can kind of drag it wherever I need it and just extend the gas lines and all that shit. I don't know. I might be shooting in the dark on that, but you know, if you don't have nothing to work towards, you're not having any fun, right? So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, that's pretty much that, guys. I will have a new updated video as far as ramps are concerned, because like I said, I am working on 2 right now. They're both need to be out of here by Friday. One of them's a 60-inch base that's getting shipped out to Delaware. The other one is a 48-inch with a swing arm that is staying here in Florida. Florida. I'm from Jersey. I say Florida. My wife makes fun of me. Anyway, Florida. These are staying. So I'll do some updated videos as far as, you know, building is concerned. It's going to be repetitive, but I haven't posted a video in a while, and you know, and I notice that when I post videos, I tend to sell more ramps. So anyway, that's pretty much that. I'm not going to edit this, so if I said the same thing 1,000 times, sorry. Bye.